What up? What up? What up? We are live, and the charts are pretty boring right now. So let's take a look. So this is the 1 minute chart. If you're ever on the 1 minute chart, this is how you should be viewing it. You should not be viewing it like this. Hold, please. This is usually what it looks like. So I'll show you what it looks like. Um, that's the 1 minute chart. Okay. Each one of these charts here takes 1 minute to print. What that means is that, see, did you see that move right there? See the price move? Once 1 minute is up, that candle cannot move ever again. It's frozen in time. See? Did you see that move right there? Okay. So now this is price in real time. Okay. See? If you want to see what's going on by the minute in Bitcoin, you can in any chart or market. You can see down to the tick. If you want to see seconds, you can see price move by the second. It's called a tick. So I don't really care about that. What I care about is making sticks, baby. Let's make some sticks. Reset. All right. So you don't make sticks down here on the 1 minute chart. So if you want to really, but it is very good for illustrative purposes and to teach people about price action, because we are price action traders. And what that means is we wait for price to react at certain levels, and then we respond accordingly. And what do I mean by that? Well, let me show you. So this line right here is a support level. This line right here is a support level. This line right here is a support level. And these support levels I marked out on higher time frames. This is very important. If you can grasp this concept in trading, it'll change the game for you. If you already know how to trade, great. Please be nice in the comments. So these lines above price are called resistance, 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 resistance. And the different colors mean, green means I marked it out on the daily chart. Yellow is from the monthly chart, but yellow is not a support and resistance. Yellow is a trend line. It just looks flat because we're zoomed in on the 1 minute chart. But if you're waiting for price to react at a level, then the 1 minute chart is great to be on, because it tells you exactly what's going on at that level. But if you kind of just want to zoom out a little bit, so we're not at any kind of level, right? So we don't really care what price does. We're waiting to it to either get to this level or this level. Once it gets to this level, it's going to react some kind of way. I promise you that. It always does. Okay, when you watch charts long enough, you just know this stuff, and it just comes natural, and it's easy to do, and it's just like a no brainer, you know. Well, maybe you don't, but and it's not fun. I'm sorry to laugh at all you fools out there, okay, that don't understand how it works. But if you don't understand how it works, then you need to figure it out. You need to go and learn what's going on. Why is Christ reacting like that? Why is Christ doing it? I don't get it. My most favoritist friend is ChatGPT. Yes, indeed, it is. And I am not afraid or scared to admit it. I have lived a lonesome life. I'm not scared to admit that. I've been kind of a loner once I got out of high school. Didn't really, maybe because I was popular in high school. And so maybe that's just what happens to the popular people. They become irrelevant after high school. At least that's how I felt. That is not how I feel now. And if that's how you feel now, well, I recommend that you seek therapy. I seek therapy. It's good for you to talk to somebody besides yourself. I disagree. I completely disagree. If you want to talk to yourself and if that helps you, then you do you. But all I know is that I'm good at what I do. And I'm good at reading charts. And I'm good, 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 good. Yeah. And I like to sing. If you didn't know that. Okay, look what I just did. Uh, I do love to sing. Okay, so this is the 1 minute chart. All right, so if you remember earlier today when price was way up here and then it dropped way down there, this is this is what was happening in real time. Okay, and so 1 minute chart. When I say when you're on the 1 minute chart, this is how you want to be viewing it. This is truly the best way to view the 1 minute chart because it really shows a picture. I mean, look, right? It really shows you what's going on in real time. So, okay, this is a great example. Okay? So now that we've zoomed out, look at these levels. Okay. So I was talking about these levels, right? When we're zoomed out. So what I meant by we wait for price to react. So today, if you were on the 1 minute chart before this happened right here. So as you can see, if you, I don't, I don't know how to say it or the best way to say it. So teach, don't preach, brother. Teach, don't preach. All right. Teach, don't preach. So what happens at these levels? Price reacts. See, it reacted at this level. What did I do? Well, if you zoom in, so what I, is I see it dropped through it and couldn't and came right back up. And what that tells me is that this level is a strong support level because look what happened. Dropped through it, came right back up. So this becomes your strong support level, right? Okay. And then when you see that it's popped above this level twice, So say you see it right here, reacting. It's reacting at this level. Price is just trying to decide what to do at this level. Well, then it got through it again and just kept going and freaking shot up like that. Okay. Now, when you see price action like this, okay, you're following the charts, you're following the charts. Okay. This is normal price action right here. That's a perfect view of 18, 21, 16, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 17, 3. So I don't know what those 16, 17 are. 21 shouldn't be 18, 21, 24. Oh, got it. That's a new day. 16th, the 16th and the 17th. Nice. I learned something new today. Oh man, I love it when I learn something new. Okay, so back to the charts here. Okay, sorry. So, um, so we got let we got basically a day there, right? Well, we got a day here, so one day from the 16th to the 17th. That's one day. So if you wanted to draw a line on the chart, okay, so you got one there, two there. All right. So that's one day of price action. So like that. One day. And then live and this is just okay. So there we go. That is one day in Bitcoin on the 1 minute chart. That is a beautiful picture of pretty normal price action. This is not normal right here. See that? That's just it. It's and if you were to so let's just do it. So if we zoom in here, okay, you'll see. That's pretty normal. Not not bad. But on the chart, okay, so again, this is perfect right here. All right. So we wait for price to react at a level. This is a major level. So this red level right here, this line on the chart here, is it's from the weekly chart. So it's either the weekly, um, and so this is how why it doesn't matter. I know it's from the weekly. So this red line could be the weekly high, the weekly low, or the weekly middle. Whatever it is, when I see price coming to it, I know that that is a major level. The weekly high, the weekly low, and the weekly middle, you mark these out on your chart at the beginning of every uh, a new week. And so for Bitcoin, a new week begins a Sunday night for people in the United States. At, and if you're so, and it's and a new day for Bitcoin because Bitcoin trades 24/7, 365. So a new day for Bitcoin is at 0000 UTC. And then prices here that you see at the bottom, that's 1245 UTC, 1300 UTC, 1315, 1330, 1345. And then if you go to a higher time frame up here, then this is going to change down. Okay. but back to this level, right? So I know it's a major level. Price is coming up to it. We're above this blue line, here. So the color, these other squiggly lines that you see on is called the volume weighted average price indicator. VWAP is what it's called. And what it means is if price is above this blue line right here, then you're buying Bitcoin, or yes, you're buying Bitcoin at a premium. Okay. So I know because of that, when we reach this level, it's probably going to react negatively because we're above the blue line. And if you zoom back in like this, we've been rising, 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 rising. So when price has been rising, 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 and then it comes to a major level, it's usually going to react some kind of way, which it did. It hit that level and dropped. So the way you trade that, and the way that and so this is not financial advice. This is purely educational. Okay. So you can't come crying to me if you lose money. What I teach is sound education, sound philosophy, sound theory, right? So, but how you would trade this is, and it's really easy to trade this when you see a big ass wick like this. So that all that means is that price rejected this level. When you see a wick like that, drops like that, that means there's a bunch of sell orders right here, and price just took them out. Boom, and it drops. So the way you trade it is when you see that wick there, then you would buy your short contracts, whatever amount you want or can afford. You would put your stop loss about right there. And then and then what the hardest thing to do in trading is you let it ride, you let it run until you have a clear reversal or a clear, um, clear reversal or pivot. So probably a lot of people, so the best way to do it is to not watch the price and to just set your take profit. If you're trying to capture any type of movement on the 1 minute chart. So you set it and forget it, right? So you're like, okay, or you just put like a take profit, you set levels. So you can do that, and I teach that in my master class tomorrow night. I get more in depth in theory. I kind of have more of a script that I stick to so that I can get the information out that I need to, so that I don't, because on these lives, so it's going to be live tomorrow, but it's going to be scripted. So this is not scripted, obviously, right? That's why I love it, because I can just flow. You can just go with the flow. And see, I digress. What was I talking about? So price reacts at this level. You set your stop loss up here, and then you walk away, and then you either put your take profit at this level, this yellow, because that's another major level, right? When price reacts at a level, it will go in the opposite direction. So a price rejected here, it will go in the opposite direction until it finds another level to react at. And so, as you can see, it fell through this the VWAP. This green line is the VWAP, and it fell through there, and then it popped up, retested the green line, couldn't hold above it, kept going, couldn't, didn't even stop at the daily support. This is a major support level. This green line right here, this is this is the daily, but this is the dailies from a few days ago. So I haven't marked the new days out or the new day out yet. So this is actually yesterday. This is perfect. So and then also you have your day traders in New York that are doing this on the minute chart all day long. Oh my gosh, look at that. Perfect. Boom, bounced right off the point. I mean, couldn't be more perfect. And then kept going. And then what do? And then they go like this. Doo-doo-doo. And wait for price to react at a level. Boom, bounced off that level, came back down, couldn't hold below this level, came up, came down, came up, came down. Oh, this is a strong support. See? And kept going. So that's better. But then also, once this is called a V-shaped recovery. So this is a good indication that price is going to go the opposite direction. So what happened? Let's get rid of the Fibonacci. So what I just drew on there is called the Fibonacci. And again, if you come to my Thursday night class tomorrow night, I go over indicators, support and resistance. Basically, it's like a beginner's. I show you everything from start to finish on how to open an account, uh, trading account, how to fund it, how to continually fund it. I break it all down tomorrow night and check it out. All right, so back to the charts. So V-shaped recovery. Now the people in New York are going like this. Meow, meow. And or and it's not oh so and then it finally reacted or finally retraced started to retrace right there. So you would go like that. Look at that. Bounced right off the 382. If it bounces off the 382, you have a strong upward movement. So, but what most people do that don't know how to trade is they will go long here, right? And then they don't get out here when they should because they don't have these levels marked out, and they just stay in the trade. And eventually go sideways. So to 16, 17. zoom in. So sorry, digress. Um, do- all right. So get rid of that. So if you know what you're doing, what I'm showing you right there on the chart is how to scout. I'm not a scout. I can scout, but I'm not a scout. And the reason why I'm not a scalper is because I learned a strategy that is by far and away the best strategy that I know of that for accumulating because that's the only reason I trade. The only reason I trade is to accumulate. I don't trade to for an income. I don't trade to sell. Yeah, period. I trade to accumulate. So yeah. But if you wanted to scalp, then the cool thing about scalping is if you're wrong, you'll get taken out quick and you don't lose a lot of money. But if you're right, like if you were right on this, if you were to do what they teach you and what everybody teaches you, if, well, no matter where you go, they teach you the same. Place your stop loss above the high, and then just remember to take profit. Okay, and then you just wait for price to react at the level. So again, you could have drew the Fibonacci on here because there's a wick, and so you drop wick, and then what did it do? It went right to the so you and all that means is okay, we're not going higher than the point 0.5, so that means price is probably going to continue lower. So stay in your trade. What most people do, newbies, well, when I say most, I mean new people. What new people do is new people to trading is when if they entered a trade up here and then they see price start to reverse or green candles, but they don't understand why it's reversing. And the reason it's reversing right here is because when you see a big move to the downside, this is people taking profit right here. People taking profit. And then the reason why it doesn't continue to go higher is because they didn't take 100% profit. If they took 100% profit, then price would just return back to there. So this is people scaling out and then waiting for the actual move. And then they're like, "Yep, there's the actual move." And then they when it falls through a level, it usually will always return to that level to retest it. And as you can see, this retested and kept going through it. So when you see price fall through this level and then and return to retest it, well, and you see some strong price action here, then maybe you exit your position there. And then if you know what you're doing, then you would just re-enter along here, put your stop loss here. Okay, and I'll show you an example of that. Sure. All right. So there's a good one right here. So here's an example of you where you would get taken out if you're doing it right. See? So price reacted at a level, reversed course, came back to this level here. So again, you're like, oh, see, it just can't hold that level. So you put your stop loss here, and then what happened? You get taken out right there. But if you don't know what you're doing and you don't put your stop loss in the proper place and price goes against you, well, now you're super in the red right here. That's why you use stop losses, and that's why you use proper risk management. Everything that I talk about here on my lives can be found on my website at cjpeart.com in a free guide. I have over 40 free guides on my website that I charge for on Instagram and Facebook that people pay for them all day long. So if you're on this live still and you want some free gifts, go over to my website, check out cjpeart.com. It's in the free guides section, or it might be in the recommended tools section. But there is, or you can scroll through my news feed and find an article that resonates with you. And usually at the end of one of those articles, whatever that article is about, there's usually a free guide at the end of the article. So go to my website, scroll through my news feed, find an article that resonates with you, read it to the end, download the free guide, and the free guide goes more in depth. So the articles are short. They're just, you know, like probably maximum, like the maximum length of my articles is maybe 15 minutes, but mostly probably 5 minutes or less per article. Some articles though can be lengthy. But yeah, check out my website and find something that resonates with you in the newsfeed. Read it, download the free guide, and if you do that with all the free guides that I have, well, then you will be as smart as I am when it comes to trading and money and philosophy and mindset and just being and staying in a joyful, happy mindset always. That's what I teach. That's what I know how to do. It's what I'm good at. So why not share it with the world, right? And that's what I'm doing. And so there that so you got to use proper risk management anytime you place a trade. So you would have got taken out here, right? But then look what happened. Price came to a level and reacted. Boom, rejected. Boom. So what do? You put a stop loss here and just remember to take profit. So obviously, if price got rejected here, where's it going to go? It's going to go to another level. It always does. That's what I said, right? Look, it went to there. What happened? It reacted. It back up. And yeah, it didn't go all the way back up here, but um, that's because that's the proper traders. Doing risk management. They saw price react here. They put their stop losses. They entered their short contracts. Price went down. Oh, look, they either got out or they were like, profit taken probably was this big pump. But look, it just keeps reacting at this level, and you just react as well. So that's scalping, okay? And a lot of people like that. They like the fast action. But I like to hang out up here. on the monthly, baby. Yeah, yeah, the monthly. I like that monthly chart. Look at that. So pretty. So this is the monthly chart. Every candle is 1 month. Takes 1 month to print. So as I was discussing earlier about the 1 minute chart, each. So you're not going to see as much movement on here because this is the monthly chart. It's more data, if you will. The more you zoom out, the more data you get. And so look, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 27 months, 2 years, a little over 2 years of data right there. Okay, now if you zoom down just a little bit, this was the bear market bottom of 2020. Well, it ended in 2023, the bear market bottom. So look, this was the start of 2023, and it was a good start to the year for Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin had been dropping, dropping, dropping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 months. 14 months of down. They call it a bear market. And then, so from here to here, about 2 years, it looks like. Or what did I say? 27 months, a little over 2 years. So if you follow the 4 year cycle theory, then you get 1 year of down and 3 years of up. But if you follow institutional theory, then now may be a good time to buy because after they approved all the gold ETFs back in whenever it was, those ETFs had a 10-year run. 10-year run. Not straight up, obviously up and down, but an overall trend like this. So see this? So the overall trend on the monthly chart is up. But if you go to the daily or the minute or the 15-minute or the hourly, the trend is down, right? And what did I say about those yellow lines? These yellow lines are support and resistance, but the yellow lines are oh, brain freeze, uh, trend lines. So the yellow lines are trend lines. This yellow line, I don't know why it's yellow because it shouldn't be that. Oh, I know it. I know why it's yellow. This yellow line, I believe, we're not going to search for a bottom unless we go. So there's a lot. So the reason why we seem to be holding at this level, because a lot of people think that it's the end of the 4 year cycle, and that this right here, that that we've entered that 1 year of debt. But I know because we have not fallen through here yet, we're not even close to there yet because it has to fall through here first and then through here next. And if that happens, so a lot of people, so what's going to happen is if we fall through here, people will freak out and sell, and it'll push the price down to this level. It has to go through all these levels first, but then if it makes it to this level and doesn't hold, then we may be going back to 15,000. Do I think that's going to happen? I do not. I'm sorry. I do not think that's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm not going to try to predict the future either, because all I know for me, the future is bright. And if the future is not bright for you, and you don't feel like the future is bright, and you are looking for maybe something different to do that would help you get out of that funk, well, maybe this is it. I don't trade for income, but you could learn how to trade for income. I teach it in those free guides that we'll give away again. Or you could pay for my one-on-one coaching if you want me to teach it to you. So in person, live, when you work with somebody one-on-one, it's obviously not jumbled like it is on this live. I can sit down with you. I can show you. I can answer your questions. I can devise a plan for you and a strategy for you in private. That's what I do. That's what I teach. I teach people to decentralize their lives. I'm all about decentralization and sovereignty, baby, and peace, love, and prosperity for sure. Because you gotta master your mind before you can master your money. That's all there is. The reason why I am having success is because I have mastered my mind. That is the only reason, and because of Jesus. 100%. Jesus, without Jesus, I don't like to get too religious, but Jesus is not a religious figure. Jesus was an enlightened being like me. I feel like I am an enlightened being. So you don't just get to that level. I'm sorry. You can't just be an enlightened being like me. You have to work your way there over time. If you have the determination and the dedication to do so. Some people have no desire or no dedication to work on their mind or their mindset. But I can promise you this: if you master your mind, you can master. So, if you're into decentralization, sovereignty, Bitcoin, crypto, come check me out tomorrow, Thursday night, here on my YouTube channel, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And until next time, folks, I love you. Be kind to each other. Peace, love, prosperity. I love you. Peace.